What I tried to do with the book, The Sun Will Shine Again, is recognize and acknowledge the reality, right? There have been disasters. People have lost their job, people have lost their savings, they've been wiped out, right? And it throws them into a depression. Not a sick depression. Prozac isn't going to help for this, right? But the important thing is, right, when you get depressed, don't panic. Because if you allow yourself to panic, you can make the most ridiculous decisions under panic. So yes, depression, and it's understood, right? But don't panic. I think the theme of the book really is avoid panic, keep your equilibrium. Yes, it's tough times, right? But we can weather them, and we have to find ways in which to support each other. The family should get closer, right? Increase your social ties. Work on your faith, work on your prayer, but don't panic, because panic is deadly. One of the points that I make there is a little bit of a vague point, but I think it's true. And say, don't allow despair. There's a difference between depression and despair. Now, as a psychiatrist, I've treated many, many people with depression, right? I've had people who were suicidal, and unfortunately some people who have committed suicide. No matter how bad a person feels, if he has one iota of hope, he doesn't commit suicide. Suicide happens with despair. And what I want people to know is, despair is a delusion. There is no such thing as despair. You say, what do you mean there's no such thing as despair? I feel despair. I said, okay, a paranoid hears voices. He hears those voices. To him, they're real. But they're a delusion. Right? It's a hallucination. I said, I believe that you feel despair. I believe that. But you've got to realize that your feeling of despair is almost a psychotic feeling, because despair doesn't exist. Right? You're making it up. Right? That's a tough point to get. Right? But the fact is that if we can understand that, yes, there is a feeling of despair, but it isn't real. There is no despair. I think first of all, as I point out, it focuses on don't panic, recognizing you're despaired. We can't change the reality, but there may be things that you can do if you're not in despair and if you don't panic, right? And keeping your equilibrium, you may be able to find things to better your situation. The other thing is that to be aware that, yes, you may have lost a lot of money, you may have lost your job. That doesn't take away your value as a human being for yourself, for your family, for your wife, for your children, for your parents.